and I haven't even started drinking yet.
Damn.
All right, and now we're back, and we're going to talk to Terry. Terry is super involved in the veteran community, both in and around Houston. I think I see you pretty much at all the events that are happening.
Because I'm following you.
Is it? I was thinking more stalking than following.
Yeah, I just pretend I don't know you, so I'm like, who are you?
Well, we pretend we don't know him either. So,
Pretty much everybody pretends they don't know me, but
yeah.
it's all right. One of these days, it'll happen.
Yeah,
So,
doubt it.
Terry, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us a little bit about your service.
Well, actually, today is my 11-year anniversary of getting out of the Marine Corps.
All right. Way to go.
All right.
Hoo-ah. Yeah. So, my
crayons.
first few years getting out of the Marines was not very easy. I was just like not knowing what to do with myself. I already dropped my pack in the Marines because I already deployed all over the place, including Japan, Iraq, North Carolina, California, all kinds of stuff like that. But when I came back, I just used my GI Bill again just to get another degree at U of H. So I'm a 10-year U of H student. I have 2.5 degrees.
Nice.
Half is in art. I'm like, I can take 2 Spanish classes and 1 art history to get my 3 full degrees. But I'm like, no, what am I going to do with an art degree?
Yeah. Take up space on the wall.
I actually heard somebody say with a liberal arts degree, right? Which kind of art it goes in that is they should start giving them a little paper hat.
Mm-hmm.
And a name tag that says, "What would you like with the fries?"
Yeah.
That's about no. Having a degree is a great thing, and if you have an art degree, then
Wow. I have an art degree.
well,
Where's your name tag?
No.
But yeah, I've worked for a few different organizations. Lone Star Veterans Association, I was the event coordinator for a couple months. Then I went to American GI Forum for the last 3 years to help veterans and homeless individuals gain employment. And one of the things that made me successful there was being able to connect with different organizations, different people, because, every organization only has limited resources. So
Correct.
just bringing people together to listen to each particular veteran, what's going on with them, what they need, whether it's mental health, a suit, bus pass, gas, whatever. Some things I could pay for with our company funds, other things I couldn't. So it's always just putting together puzzle pieces all over the place. And in Houston, it's almost impossible to know every single veteran organization out there because it's just
So many
growing so much. It's just its own industry. Is the veteran industry is like can be rival to the military industry.
oh yeah, for sure.
But we're basically fixing all the things that the military screwed up with us. But it still brings together a community. It builds foundations and organizations together so that we have one common goal of making sure that veterans are self-sufficient, productive members of society, and not just, bundled up pieces of messes that just can't function at all. Kind of like Rambo, just, not knowing what to do with yourself. You don't have to be like special forces. Like I've come across all types of veterans of all types of experiences, men, women, every branch. We all have our problems, but, we're not bound by our ranks or anything anymore. So we just genuinely need to take care of each other,
Right. Yeah.
so that we can be successful, not have any more veteran suicides. But that's probably bound to happen no matter what we do.
Yeah.
So we can't reach out to everyone.
That's one of the biggest things. I'm glad you brought it up. Is the fact that there are so many of us that have a hard time transitioning or making that adjustment to civilian life, even though we serve 4, 6, or 8, however long we serve. The military does a really good job of taking the civilian life out of you but it does a very crappy job of getting you to go back to that civilian sector after your service. And, I know you knew Carlos Cigar Man, right? Really, really well. And that was one of those really tragic situations where you lose somebody that is so active in the community, and it leaves a huge hole. The reason why I bring this up is the fact that I know you do a lot of the silky hikes with Irreverent Warriors.
Irreverent.
Said irrelevant.
No, it's irreverent. Anyway.
Irrevocable.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I did not say irrelevant. I said irreverent. Anyway. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that organization that you and what it kind of means to you? So.
You want Irreverent Warriors or Cigar Night?
You can talk about both.
Okay. Irreverent Warriors basically started back in 2015. Captain Donnie O'Malley, his real name's Danny Mayer. He was an infantry captain in the Marines. He's probably dealt with a lot of combat casualties and stuff like that, but he is also a comedian right now. He owns Vet TV, which streams online. But his main take was he wanted to do something about veteran suicide because he's bared deaths after service with his own Marines killing themselves, and he just wanted to bring awareness. All he had was a couple Marines with him and a little red wagon walking around just talking to random people about veteran suicide. Then maybe within a week, Mark Metzger, who lives in Galveston, he's a Marine that's a lawyer, criminal defense lawyer. He's like 6'5", looks like a linebacker. He just all of a sudden just made a proclamation to do a Silkies hike with no planning whatsoever. He just did it, just like Marines do, just adapt and overcome and make it happen. I wasn't necessarily part of that hike at the time. I was working. But he just made this entire route. You got a bunch of Raptor owners together to just tag along with us just to make sure that traffic is blocked and everything's controlled. I think that one had like 300 or 400 veterans, mostly Marines, because, the other branches, maybe the Army likes to hike, and, Navy's probably not going to ever plan something like that. It's like, can we float on a river or something, whatever? But ever since that, everything exploded. Irreverent Warriors became a thing. There's been Silkies hikes all over the nation, like this. Today,
in Fort Worth. Right?
Today's Fort Worth. Next week is San Antonio. A couple weeks ago was Round Rock in Austin. Actually, the funny thing was after the first Houston hike, I think the next week or the week after that, they decided to do an Austin hike, and it was like a death march because they were going up hills and no one was conditioned at all. People falling out, and we're like, this is not fun at all. I just want to die. But I wasn't even on that hike, so you
were tired too. Just think about it.
It's just exploded all over the nation. I think there's one being planned in Hawaii in December. There's going to be one in Vegas. But it's just gets people active. It's brought a lot of people to life and given them purpose. A lot of them go exclusively to all the Silkies hikes. I don't really like walking too much, so I don't try to do too much of that. Like the early years, I was like, yeah, go to Waco, go to College Station. Oh, there's 2 more hikes in Houston, great. And Galveston, cool. Now I'm like, okay, I think I could do like 1 or 2 a year now. But,
we actually did the Val 22 one.
He was there.
Yeah, I've been there twice.
And that's always been a lot of fun for us. I missed the one here in Houston, but I heard there was a little commotion there at the team picture.
Oh yeah, because we were reported as being like violent protesters.
Yeah, which I thought was hilarious.
That's crazy.
Armed.
Yeah, they was.
I'm like,
armed
well,
protest.
there's a giant ogre-looking guy with a sword. If that's the arm you're talking about,
Yeah.
but you know, other than that, the rest of us were carrying flags. I had the largest flag. I have like a 20-foot.
I was gonna say you normally carry the extending flag with a post.
Yeah, this time I tried to get wheels put on it by my army buddy, but the PVC was too thin to where it just broke off. So I'm like, well, now I got to carry this.
Yeah.
But I was sticking it in the truck with a couple guys who were gracious enough to carry it for me. I just thought I never liked hiking in the Marine Corps. It's like a death march to me. I'm like, I got to carry how much? And it's
Right.
like 4 a.m, and I'm like always looking at all the routes. I'm like, I want to trip and break my foot
Right.
so I could get out of it. Now with the Silky Cycles, it's just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna walk a couple miles and go to a bar and drink. This is awesome. I wish we could have done this in the Marines.
Yeah.
Just do it this way.
It
would've
would
been
definitely
great.
make everything a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But the end course, I don't know how great your mission would be at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
'cause
for
you're like-
training.
Yeah. I did the one in Kima last year where Mark had us run up the Kima Bridge, and man, I'm gonna tell you, Fat, Dumb, and Happy did not agree with that bridge. That was a hike for me.
Yeah, that's why you kind of just did like a little buddy thing, so you could just go at your own pace.
Yeah,
This is really the only thing that made that hike difficult.
with that bridge, I agree.
Then you had one of the Marines with Mr. Gigglesworth waving
Oh.
around the bridge.
Yeah, that was Mr. Gigglesworth. I think has made multiple appearances.
Oh yeah, this year he was green, painted like one of those World War II bombers that
Oh,
looked like a shark.
oh, nice. With
I have a picture of me kissing it.
I think I may have to go find that picture.
No, yeah, it's on my Facebook.
Awesome. So, what are you still working with? And I'm sorry, I forgot.
GI.
American GF Farm.
Yeah.
No, I got let go in January, but
Is
you
it,
know.
like a COVID?
I was there 3 years and 2 hours. I made it to my 3-year anniversary,
Hey,
and they're
that's it.
like, "You're cut."
Please.
But
Great anniversary gift.
oh yeah, but I've helped hundreds of veterans, hundreds of homeless individuals gain employment. I've turned their lives around. Like stuff like that doesn't require prescription medications or
Yeah.
having a degree or doctorates or anything like that. I know the VA is always pushing for like medication and professional counseling, but it's like, you know, you just need to be able to connect these people to the right resources, listen to what's going on with them, so I can kind of say, you know, I know the solution for this thing and this thing and this thing.
Right.
But I can't help with everything because, you know,
Right.
You
I
know,
don't live your life.
one thing I wanted to tell you, man, is that like your hard work never went unnoticed. People know who you are. You're a big name in the veteran community, and that's because of all the hard work that you put in to help different veterans. Just know that.
Yeah, and it's extremely important to maintain your bridges, never burn your bridges, to be connected, to know that everyone has their worth, everyone has their value. You know, you just may not know about it first meeting or the 10th or the 100th meeting. Eventually you're gonna have something click to where, you know, I talked to this guy about something, then, you know, I'm talking to someone else and they're like, I know this guy had a problem with something, but I think you're the solution to it, or you may have the solution, and it's really critical. It's just everyone's a puzzle piece,
Right.
You know.
I like the way you said that.
You just don't know the entire picture yet. You're kind of blindly making a puzzle.
And that's one of the biggest things about a lot of the camaraderie type stuff, that you were involved in, and that a lot of the veterans do. It's making those connections, having that understanding that you may need something that he can provide, and vice versa, which is awesome. It's awesome that you have that connection and that network capability and stuff, which is great. Do you guys have any other questions yet?
Now, how can people find you, man? If they want,
just wish me.
Yes.
Wish me to be. But yeah, this week's actually been pretty busy for me. We had a Marine Corps birthday. We have to celebrate that like 20 times.
Well, of course.
Just to show up the Army and the Navy and the Air Force. Birthday, I don't care.
We can't all just come out of a bar, right? I mean, Marine Corps was founded in a tavern, which allows you guys to continue that path. And I love the Marine Corps.
We know you're on their nuts big time.
Shut up. It's the crayons. I'm really enjoying crayons.
You love the scent.
Yeah. The scratch and sniff.
This week's been pretty busy. Last night I went to the Camp Hope fundraiser over in Waller. They're actually doing it right now again.
How's it going? How'd it go? You said day 5?
No, it's this is the second day.
Oh, okay.
They do it annually, but it used to be over right by Camp Hope. Now it's in Waller, like 30 minutes up towards right by Prairie View. It's a good time because it was free barbecue, free food. I'm all about free food, free beer. Sure. So I show up. When I got to pay for something, I'm like, I get a discount or something.
Yeah.
But, then the Marine Corps is celebrating their birthday again tonight at District 249 over in Tomball. Then after this, I'm going to go across the road to support David Vincent at Val 22. They're having a barber bash, so if you got time.
Yeah, where are they at?
It's the barber shop. If you go along right past 288, it's
on the other side of.
Yeah, it's like really close to it. They're having a barber bash to raise money for Val 22. Val 22 is a phenomenal resource too.
We are big fans of Val 22.
Mm-hmm.
David Vincent is probably one of the people that I look that I admire and I look up to. Everything that he has done with that program. And in case you don't know, we've actually talked about Val 22 on our podcast a couple of times. But just to remind everybody, they are into camaraderie. They big time into that networking, the veteran camaraderie and network, to help each other out. And the thing that they do that nobody else does is they, not only support the veterans, but they support the families of the veterans who are also struggling, whether it's PTSD or counseling or whatever that is needed.
See, 10 years ago when I got out, there was nothing. I mean, there's obvious the VA, certain veteran organizations, legions, VFWs, but it's none of us were really connected. But now, 11 years later, all of us know each other. We're all connected. Right now I'm dealing with a Marine that needs critical help, and these random people on Facebook are contacting me because they think I know him, and I'm like, okay, well, we got to do what we got to do to help him out and get him the right resources. So it's critical. A couple of years ago, I lost Sergeant Major Parisi. He was in the Marines at the age of 17. He retired at 26 years. He's only been out 2 years. He already committed suicide. He was the greatest leader you could ever have. He bled the Marine Corps and affected so many Marines, yet, he took his own life. You never would expect that, but, it's just like Robin Williams, you could have a happy face all you want, make people laugh, but, what are you really feeling inside?
Yeah.
You never know that, so
we
you can't.
use that Robin Williams as an example a lot. Yeah. It's you just never know what somebody's going through.
Depression, it can affect any and everybody. It doesn't matter your race, your rank. your status. It's out there, and
And
like we say, it's you're not alone.
all the hardships I faced my first few years getting out of the Marines was not to just screw with me. It's just to build me into something better. I realized, like on The Simpsons, Lisa Simpson says the same word for crisis, or the same Chinese word for crisis is the same as opportunity. So, you always have to take that the crisis and turn it into opportunity. Like,
Is that real? Is that for real?
I don't know. The Simpsons said it. So
It must be.
Most likely it could be real. But yeah, this year, 2020, did not affect me that much because I'm like, I've been through worse.
Yeah,
I can care of myself. It's just 2020 should just be a learning lesson for everyone, because there may be worse things impending at some point in time, but it's got to make you stronger. And, help you carry other people, help you carry yourself into something better.
Definitely.
Have a greater purpose, a greater mission, a greater identity. And, it's, you have to have that fraternalism, you have to have the connectedness, your purpose, identity, to be human.
Mm-hmm. It's, yeah.
Good.
Well, brother, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Problem.
Thank you for sharing a little bit about you, and I look forward to running into you again.
Randomly.
Yeah.
This time I won't look at you strange. I won't be like, who are you? I don't remember you.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. These guys do it to me, and I see them pretty much on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Like daily.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But you get our contact info, man.
Of course.
Give us a holler if you need anything.
Absolutely.
Stay in touch.
You'll see me.
All right, brother.
All right. Thanks.
All right.